the actual wedding ceremony.
Please be seated. Jessica and Josh are grateful that you've accepted their invitation and gathered here today as a community of family and friends to witness the ceremony of their commitment to each other in marriage. The language of this service will reflect the fact that the individual members of this community come from very different backgrounds. This is indeed a very special moment in Jessica and Josh's lives as they publicly commit themselves to each other in marriage. This kind of commitment reminds us, jaded and weary though we may be, of the power of love above all else in human life. May their commitment to each other in our presence be for all of us a renewal of hope in love and its possibilities. Jessica and Josh, know that each of us here in the quiet sanctuary of our hearts will add our very best wishes to the words and gestures which you will use to unite your lives together in marriage. We will have the first reading by Michael.
Adapted from Union by Robert Fulton. You have known each other for 7 years, through the first glance of acquaintance to this moment of commitment. At some point, you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed, you have been making promises and agreements in an informal way. All those conversations that were held riding in a car, over a meal, or during long walks, all those sentences that began with, when we're married, and continued with, I will, and you will, and we will. Those late night talks that included someday, somehow, and maybe, and all those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All these common things and more are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you are about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know all those things we've promised, hoped, and dreamed. Well, I meant it all, every word. Look at one another. Do you remember this moment in time? Before this moment, you have been many things to one another. Acquaintance, friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, and even teacher. For you have learned much from one another during these years. Now you shall say a few words that take you across a threshold of life, and things will never quite be the same between you two. For after these vows, you shall say to the world, this is my husband, this is my wife.
Amy will do our second reading.
Ever wonder why God gave us two? A right hand to show the left what to do. One ear to listen and one to hear the problems of others, their laughter and fears. One eye to watch and one to behold the beautiful treasures that life has to hold. 1 foot to travel and one to stand tall, 2 feet to land on if we should fall. One man to stand by a woman's side, one woman to cherish being his bride. The love between partners comes shining through, and that is the reason God has made two.
Jessica and Josh, we gather here this afternoon from near and from far because you have asked us to be witnesses of your commitment to each other in marriage. We know that you have made your way to this remarkable juncture by choosing again and again to be there for each other at the end of each day as friends. Your repetition of this choice for the past few years or so has led up to this point in time. And so, here we are. As you try with words and gestures to shed a little light into the obscure depths where your lives have merged together. These are depths which no scientist can ever fully grasp and no poet can ever fully express. Human cultures in their efforts to name that nameless depth have often settled upon the word love. The poet Dante insists, however, that this mysterious love is not merely a private affair between individuals, but a mighty force which spins the earth, which moves the sun, the moon, and the stars, and which, according to the poet Gerard Manley Hopkins, is concealed in the veining of violets and in the making of tall trees taller. Whenever two individuals choose to allow that love to weave their lives together, something which had never been before comes into being, namely a brand new sacrament of the way things are. Those of us who know the kinds of persons you are, a listener, a leader, laid back and high-spirited, quiet and not. We are convinced not only of your obvious affection for each other, but also of your intention, explicit or not, to allow this affection to embody and make present that love which is at the foundation of things. Perhaps it is because of this conviction that many of us here have accepted your invitation and gather to witness your commitment to each other. As you well know, this time of ritual commitment is only the outward sign of marriage. Your life together, day in and day out, has been and will continue to be its sacramental content. Most likely, people of simple and searching faith who know you and care for you have looked at your life together for signs of that love which renders things sacramental, for signs of a creative tenderness and compassionate wisdom, and they have found such signs to be abundant. Needless to say, such a sacramental life has not been easy for anyone, and it certainly will not be easy for you. And mainly because of the kind of world we have all helped to shape. Ours is a world in which broken words and dishonesty have become so common that we have grown accustomed to not trusting words. Yet we have accepted your invitation and gather in your presence to hear you exchange words with each other. And we gather with a stubborn hope that your life together will be a point of resistance to the dishonesties of our world, to the dishonesties of the human heart. But when at times you stumble and succumb to these dishonesties, and you will, we hope that your life together will be a time of forgiving and of being forgiven, so that you may keep on choosing to be there for each other at the end of each day as friends. Ours is a world also of built-in obsolescence, in which everything is disposable, from baby diapers to old people and everything in between. And yet we have accepted your invitation and gather in your presence to hear you assure each other that you will not dispose of each other. And this assurance is grace to our ears, and your lives together will be grace to our lives, if when times get tough, and they will, and you become bored at times with each other, and you will, and you are tempted sometimes to dispose of each other, and you will be tempted, that you remember what was seen on this day, when with words and gestures you shed a little light into those obscure depths where your lives have merged together. And so, full of hope, we gather gladly with you at this time and in this place as witnesses to your commitment to each other in marriage. And we gather in a mood of celebration because of our long acquaintance with so much that is so good in the two of you as individuals and together. And so, here we are. Here we are. So, dear Jessica and Josh, you have come here this afternoon to be united in marriage, which consists in your mutual consent, sincerely and freely given. It is fitting, therefore, for you to declare in the presence of all of us here your heartfelt intentions. And so, Josh, have you come here freely and wholeheartedly, without any pressure and without any excessive doubt or hesitation?
I have.
And is it your intention to love and honor Jessica as your wife for the rest of your life?
It is.
Jessica, have you come here freely and wholeheartedly, without any pressure and without any excessive doubt or hesitation?
I have.
And is it your intention to love and honor Josh as your husband for the rest of your life?
It is.
So be it. Since it is your intention to enter into marriage, and since you enter into it freely, join your hands and declare your consent. First you, Josh. I, Josh, take you, Jessica, to be my wife.
I, Josh, take you, Jessica, to be my wife.
I promise to be true to you in good times and in bad,
I promise to be good to you and true to you in good times and in bad,
in sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health.
I will love and honor you all the days of my life.
I will love and honor you all the days of my life.
Jessica, I, Jessica, take you, Josh, to be my husband.
I, Jessica, take you, Josh, to be my husband.
I promise to be true to you in good times and in bad,
I promise to be true to you in good times and in bad,
in sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health.
I will love and honor you all the days of my life.
I will love and honor you all the days of my life.
You have declared your consent before family and friends. May your consent grow strong with the years, and may it fill your lives with joy and with hope. May you, Jessica and Josh, be blessed and consecrated in your love for each other. May these rings be symbols of your faith in each other, and may they always remind you of your love for each other. Josh. Jessica, take this ring as a sign of my love and fidelity.
Jessica, take this ring as a sign of my love and fidelity.
Josh, take this ring as a sign of my love and fidelity.
Josh, take this ring as a sign of my love and fidelity.
Usually at this point in wedding services, the couple light a unity candle. But Jessica and Josh have chosen instead to include a love letter ceremony in today's proceedings. This love letter ceremony will require a little bit of acrobatic stuff from you. Both Jessica and Josh have taken time to compose a letter addressed to each other. Inside are heartfelt words describing their feelings, aspirations for the future, and reasons they have chosen to marry each other. The letters have been sealed and neither have seen what the other has written. The letters, along with this bottle of wine and 2 goblets, will be locked in a special box which will be on display in a prominent location in their home to remind them of the commitment that they have made here today. On the 10th anniversary of this day, they will open that box, read the letter, and drink the wine. Jess and Josh, you have asked your moms to hold the letters. Will you get it from them?
Don't look on at me.
George, you want to help Josh?
On behalf of all of us gathered here, I want to extend to you both our very best wishes. May you keep on growing as the individuals we have known and cared for without ever growing apart. May your love for each other be graced with compassion, kindness, meekness, and patience, so that your marriage be constantly renewed and strengthened. And may you know the simple joy of growing old together. Jessica and Josh, inasmuch as the 2 of you have agreed to live together in matrimony and have promised your love to each other with your vows and your exchange of rings, I now declare you to be husband and wife. Congratulations, Josh. You can kiss your wife.